There was a person I met in the UK, and he was like, I just have a question. Why did you spell come, C-O-M-E, instead of C-U-M? And I was like, because I don't want graffiti in my book. My name is Lisa Taddeo, and I'm here to talk about my book, 3 Women. It's nonfiction. Everything is utterly true. The reason it's detailed and reads like a novel is because I spent all this time with these women, and also it's about desire. It's not about, dog sledding.
He drinks cans of beer, and his breath always has that taste, which Lena has come to associate with pure passion.
The most difficult part was 100% finding the people. Finding Lena was impossible and took forever. I handed Lena's section into my editor at that point, and he was like, this is phenomenal, just do this a couple more times. I was like, that's fucked up, man. I drove across the country 6 times. I moved to different places. I moved to places where my subjects lived. I posted signs in bizarre places. If I put it in this Buckhead salon, if I put it in the Four Seasons bathroom above the changing table, if I put it in this barbecue joint in Mobile with all these motorcycle dudes in there, I'm gonna find someone. Over the course of the 8 years, I spoke to hundreds of people for an hour or two to several weeks to several months to several years. The 3 women who remain are the ones who just let me into their minds and hearts and bedrooms.
Men come to insert themselves. They turn a girl into a city.
One of the women was a high school student in Fargo, North Dakota, who had come forward about an alleged relationship she'd had with her high school English teacher, who went on to be named Teacher of the Year. I think the most shocking thing about it to me was that they'd never had actual intercourse. There were text messages that had been deleted, but there were hours of phone calls that went on past 11 at midnight. And everybody was kind of just not talking about those. And it's like my mother once said, nothing good happens after midnight.
Sloane always did the perfect amount of every drug. Sometimes the perfect amount meant overdoing it, and so that was what she'd do.
Sloane and her husband, they have one of the happier marriages that I've ever seen. So I heard about Sloane from several people. 2 of them, women, literally said the exact same thing. Her husband liked to have sex with her every day. The sort of way with which that was conveyed to me was with horror. And she said, he tells me every day that I'm his fantasy. And he's great with the kids, and he does all these things for me. And hey, look, he likes to watch me fuck other people, so fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Can you imagine begging to be touched by the man who swore to love you forever?
I moved to rural Indiana, and I met a woman who had been in a marriage for 11 years with a man who said he no longer wanted to kiss her on the mouth. I think he said that the sensation reminded him of wet wool. She was like, if it gets to 3 months and he doesn't touch me, then I'm going to leave him. The clock struck midnight is how she put it to me, and she was just like, that's it, it's fucking over.
Parts of her she never thinks about begin to glow and quiver.
She met up with Aiden. They had sex in his car at the river where they had used to hook up when they were kids. It was kind of this magical thing for her. I would go to it directly after so that I could hear the same sounds and smell the same things in the same atmosphere that she had just been in, so that I could not only take her words, but also take the sensations of the world that had been around her into account.
There are men and there are women, and one still rules the other in certain pockets of the country.
The crux of the book in many ways was the judgment of other people, mainly women, upon other women. I hope that people will realize that, judgment is terrible, and it's one of the reasons that we have so much shame over things as important to us as our sex lives and our desire.